Bear with me as I invite my guest, my co-host, and as I figure out how to navigate this weird app. One second, y'all. If you're joining me, thank you, thank you. Sending out some invites to my people, learning how to navigate. What's up, Plaster's in the house? You're the first in, my dear. How are you? Thanks for joining. Oh, I'm trying to figure out how to invite Suni in. Here we go. Whoop. I just sent that invite about 5 times. Invite another. There she is. What's up, girl?
What's happening?
Nothing. Welcome to TikTok.
TikTok. I never come to TikTok, but now I'm here.
I know. I had to lure you over here so that we could burn it down together.
I went live on TikTok like twice, maybe.
Really?
And it was like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe because I don't go live on here. There's nobody that watches me, so I was just like, this is boring. It's like, so I got up.
We got to lure in Tyler. We got to get him in here.
Yeah, Tyler's on here. If he'll probably see me live and hop in here.
I hope he
He's been
does.
asking me to come over here and go live.
Yeah, he's famous over here. Like they'll ban his account. He makes a new account, and literally that day he has 1,000 followers. He can go live again. It's crazy. I've seen him do it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
He has his own little cult over here. But what
What's
were you
up?
talking about, men and women? I like that topic a lot. And I mean, we can get into whatever you want, but
Yeah. I just said men and women should practice um sexual reproduction organs. I have to find a better word for it. But just practice some discipline. Stop sleeping with everybody. Stop opening your legs to any and everyone. It's kind of just nasty. Like when you think of it, when you think of the act of sex, right? And how super intimate and close it is, and you know people are just sleeping with a bunch of different folks. It's like, ew. It's just gross. Like, why would you do that?
you're right. And I hear nowadays, I think it's like 50% or more of the young people have an STD. So they're just like literally gross.
50%? Wow.
You have a 50-50 chance, a flip of a coin, if you meet somebody new and you have sex with them, that you're going to have an STD after that.
That's insane. I didn't know
That's when
that.
we were growing up. I think it's probably worse now. It's probably like 66% or who knows.
Jeez. That's gross, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And also, believe it or not, I'm actually pro-choice. I believe in a woman's right to choose. And it begins and ends with spreading your legs to a man. That's when your choice is over. You had
That's
sex. You
facts.
you chose to have sex. That's a likely possible consequence of sex. Like you can't go kill the child that you conceived because now you regret that it happened. Sorry. You should have thought about that before you had sex. Especially you're only
That's
fertile like
true,
7 to 10 days a month, right?
That's that's true. It's not very hard to avoid getting pregnant. It's actually not. You can do it. You can even not get pregnant and be on absolutely no birth control. But it's like you said, you need to be able to track when you're ovulating, when you're not, when your cycle comes on, when it's off. It's pretty simple, but people are just lazy as crap, you know? And women nowadays are just disgusting. Like just nasty. And I'm not picking on women. Actually, I am. Let me stop lying. There needs to be more people picking on women, because it's been very unequal and unequal criticism towards men, and we don't give that same energy to women. Um, Stop putting miles on your veg.
Mm.
It's pretty gross. It's pretty gross. I
I
don't
heard
think
like
that this is my thing, right? And tell me if you think this way. So like when kids are growing up, right? Kids actually have no self-awareness. They are just in it and like, woo! They're having fun. It's fun for them. I think more adults are taking that approach to stuff where they're just like, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna stick this here. I'm gonna let this person here. And if someone calls me a whore and all this other stuff, I'm gonna get offended because there's no self-awareness. I don't think many people have self-awareness. I really don't.
If they do have self-awareness, they don't want accountability.
I can agree with that.
But they don't have self-awareness most of the time. You're right about that. So tell me
Who
if
do you
this
think is
res-
more at fault, men or women?
All right, so I would say that men were probably at fault by letting women vote and all those kind of things in the first place.
Okay,
Just because
I can agree with that.
now the women are at fault, but we empowered them to do that. You know?
Yeah, but when if a woman were to hear you say that, she'd get pretty pissed off.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't give a shit. But yeah, you're right. They do get pretty pissed about that.
That's facts, man.
Yeah. I mean, you're the founder of the movement, and maybe you can explain it if it's joking or not. But repeal the 19th, right?
Yes. Um, Me and Tyler used to say this on a live, and he kind of was just like, haha, repeal the 19th. And I was like, man, I kind of like that though. Like, we do need to have our rights taken away for a bit. So, would it ever happen? No, because you would have to go through channels of government, Congress, legislation to repeal all of that. And we know it'll never happen. They won't even repeal active sitting racist laws that they have right now. So expecting them to take women's rights away, no, it would never happen. But am I advocating for it? Yes, I am. I am
Um,
because I think women have way too many rights and rights that aren't exactly needed. Like half of the rights we have aren't needed. They're just there because we're women. And I don't agree with that.
hmm. Anything in particular come to mind?
As far as rights that too many rights they have.
Yeah, that they don't need, or just because they're women or whatever.
Well, okay, number one would be an abortion. I don't think you should have a right to an abortion. It's murder. Um, I don't think women should have the right to vote because we tend to vote more. Historically, we vote for more government assistance and government programs, which
Mm.
is what's harming us right now. We're so dependent on government programs. Um, and I just think it distorts the natural order of life. It's not saying that women shouldn't have a voice. Clearly, I have a voice, but I know my place. You know, my husband is the head, and I don't mess around with that. If he's gonna, I may disagree with things that he says, but if I disagree, it's a conversation. And if he's just like, nah, what you're saying doesn't really make sense, and he explains it, most times I'm like, okay, and I can get along with that. I can get that, but we just have way too many rights, bro. Like way too many. We have more reproductive rights. We have more custodial rights. We have more rights when it comes to sexual harassment. Oh, you can look at a woman funny, and she can go press sexual harassment charges on you. Just think they
Bro, with
need to
me
be.
too, she can say anything she wants if you're alone with her in private. She can literally say anything she wants. Good chance she'll be believed, and you won't, and you're fucked.
Tyler's in the building.
Really?
I think I saw him pop
Been
up.
too long, man. It's been too long. He's gone. I think he's gone. I don't know how to tell if this is an active viewer list or not, but all you people joining us, thank you. And why would you say that they have too many rights or maybe shouldn't have those decisions in their hands? Is it because they're like overly emotional, or what do you think is the problem with women at a foundational level?
Well, we're not logical beings. We are emotional beings. That's what makes us women. We're nurturing. We're softer. We are the weaker sex. Um, and we don't lead with logic. It's like if you see a homeless person, right? You see a homeless person on the street and they're begging you for money. Most men are gonna say, if you can sit out here every day and panhandle, you can go get a job or you can go look somewhere. But a woman will say, oh, well, they need help. So just imagine if we had women in power. Imagine if we had every person in Congress was a woman. What do you think America would look like?
Non-existent. It'd be gone.
be gone because we believe in constant charity when that's not what's needed. There needs to be structure, there needs to be discipline, there has to be law and order. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen in women because clearly I have that, but it's not common. Like it's not common at all for women to walk around being logical all the time and just I've never seen it. If someone could put me in a direction of a woman that's logical all the time, go ahead. I guarantee you she doesn't exist.
You know, I love my mom and my sister to death, and in fact, the emotional nature of women is what I love about them as a logical man because I need that to take my hard exterior off sometimes. You know what I mean? So we're a good complementary pair. We're not equals. Women and men are not equal. Hold on, ladies. We're equally important in the equation, but we're
Yep.
complementary parts. We're not equals. Equal implies the
I
same.
agree.
I'm not attracted to men. Obviously not equal. Or I would just go fucking hook up with one of my homeboys and make my life a lot easier. Not deal with all the headaches of women. But like, so it's not equal. You know, we're equally important, but we're not the same at all. And I think the sooner we start understanding that as a society, the sooner we can reverse some of this like population collapse that's imminent if we don't start getting together and having more babies and stuff like that. People aren't even getting together at
Hmm.
a rate that's going to sustain the population. It's collapsing if it keeps going the way it is.
You're right because women want the freedom to go murder their kids, which is just the most alarming thing is it's children already that are advocating for abortion because it's a woman's right to choose. Well, like you said, well she could have chose to say no, or she could have chose to say put on some protection, or hey, I haven't taken my birth control. Something they've abortion completely removes the responsibility for each individual to make sure they're doing the right thing. That's how I look at abortion.
Yeah, and what about the fetus's right to choose? What if that's a female fetus? She has the right to choose.
There you
You
go.
can't abort her.
Hey, look, this I brought this up on my Instagram. I was holding a bottle of it was Suave soap body wash, and I was looking at it. I don't know why I decided to look at it, but I decided to look at it and read it. And right at the bottom it says animal cruelty free, and I was like, wow. Humans will go out of their way to make sure that animals aren't harmed, but they don't have the same energy towards child cruelty. So we're okay with aborted fetal cells being put in vaccinations, stem cell research, all these things, but don't harm an animal doing research. It's
You're
crazy.
right. That shows how upside down we are. Yeah, it is crazy.
Imagine if people were starting to have this. We can even go here. Mothers are starting to come out and say, "Well, I knew my child was transgender when they were 2 because I put a dress on them and they freaked out." Right? They freaked out. So can you then read it an animal's mind? Because animals and children, in my opinion, are much alike. They need humans to take care of them. They can't survive without us. Well, they can in the wild, some of them, if they're not domesticated. So what if the next person that animal owner, that pet owner says, "Hey, my dog doesn't want to be pregnant with these pups, so let's go abort them."
Where's the line? I hear what you're saying. It,
Let's just abort these puppies.
yeah. Well, you know what? I have
Fear
the
would be
soft.
all over the place.
You're right about that. I love that. That's a great analogy. That kind of, it's insane how callous they are about life that they instigate, an innocent life that they created.
It's
But it's because
wild.
they don't want accountability. They see throughout all of nature, throughout all natural history, up until birth control and all this shit, abortions. Women have always been the gatekeepers of sex. You're men are the seed planters, so men's value is in if he can ever attain sex. Women's value is in if she preserves herself sexually, because she can always get it.
Hmm.
So that was always the way
Right.
in nature. But I think what's going on right now, subconsciously, women are loving this power that they get in the sexual marketplace with the leverage they have, being able to have an abortion or whatever. And that's really what it
Hmm.
boils down to. Because if you ask these same people where do they stand on, a woman has the right to choose, a man shouldn't have any say in it. Okay, how do you feel about vaccine mandates? Oh, every time I bring that up to them and they're like, well, I'm for that or whatever, I'm like, you're retarded.
That's a man choosing for you. It's still a man making a law or not even a law, it's a mandate, but still, it's a
My body,
man
my choice.
intervening in
What
your
happened?
choice.
Yeah, my body, my
Or
choice.
what
What happened
happened?
to that? Real quick, that's gone. But they can live in both of those freaking stances at the same time. It's like it's seriously amazing. It's
It
baffling.
is crazy.
Holy shit, 3,000 likes, Sunni. People are digging this. Thank you guys for supporting us.
Thanks for tuning in. Oh man, it's about to rain.
I see some regulars in the audience. I see Gabe. I see Ange. I see Nikki. What's up, everybody? And if I don't recognize any of you other people, welcome to the most wanted woman on Instagram. Coming back out on TikTok. Oh, don't mind if I do. Smoke break, anybody? Oh, Nikki sent me a rose. I don't know what that means, but thank you, hon. I think that's my first rose. You just
Your
became a
first
top
rose?
viewer
I've
for
never
that.
gotten a rose in a
Oh, well, I'll send one to you after this if I can. She gave me two of them I can share. So TikTok's interesting to navigate here. You can't pin comments, but there's a lot more going on the screen. I can't even read half of it. My eyes are so bad. Light up your live in an hour and a half. I wonder what that means. TikTok live global superstars. No thanks.
What does that mean? You just get to put it in front of more people?
I guess so. If you're still up and you got nothing else going on, we'll have to come back on in an hour and a half and see if we can blow it up or something. I don't know what it means. So, how did you
I hear
celebrate the?
TikTok is the hub for feminists.
Oh, it definitely is, and that's why I'm always trying to. I mean, I've only launched on here twice, but I'm always trying to watch my words on here, uh,
Yeah.
because from what I hear, like people report it all the time. It's like worse than Instagram, and you and I,
Uh
people like us, we're not meant to last long on a place like this.
oh.
I don't
You
even know
guys
how
are
to use
dope.
this app.
Thanks. I don't know who you are, but thanks. I appreciate it.
That's my girl Ange. I think she watches you a lot on Insta.
Okay. Okay.
But
Oh yeah. What were you about to ask?
what was I about to ask? Oh, did you do anything for the fourth?
Yeah, we went up to some log cabins at the beach and just hung out for 2 days and kind of drank and let the kids play around. We had fun. It was a
Nice,
good
nice.
fourth.
Somebody still celebrates the fourth in this world. Thank God.
Well, you know what's crazy? I was watching Said, Deontay, Mitch, and there was someone else on the live. I can't remember who was on the live, but they were saying, uh, um, posing the question, should Black people celebrate the 4th of July? And I was just like, I think this is the dumbest conversation I've ever seen, but it was really interesting to hear their different perspectives um, on why we should or should not celebrate. And it had to do with the fact that back in that time, blacks weren't free. And I'm like, but we're free now. And we're all reaping the benefits of living in America. So why wouldn't you celebrate the creation of it? I don't know. I feel like people just add a ton of stuff that doesn't matter to fuel their argument as to why there needs to be yet another reason to separate blacks from America. It was a very strange conversation. I'm probably gonna drum it up again, because they were censoring me. I was requesting to get on. Yes, I'm coming out, Uncle Seth. I requested I don't know how many times to get on, and they ignored it. Probably because they knew I was gonna come up and be like, "Bro, this is stupid."
Because they were
First
all
of all,
like in their
you're the
feelings
man.
about it and shit, and you're like gonna come up and destroy all those men. Like you guys are all
They
ridiculous.
were getting mad at the questions I was asking. I'm like, so then why don't you leave America? And they were like, that's such a disingenuous question. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a valid question. It's pretty
There's never
valid.
been a more free society for anybody ever throughout the history of man than here. That's why they never leave. And they always want to complain
Right.
about it. And we should be critical of the bad parts, but also acknowledge that, like, because I get this all the time as a white guy or whatever. First of all, my ancestors weren't even here for any slavery or anything like that. They were slaves themselves, the Irish and the Slavs, running here in like the early 1900s. But okay, let's say that me as a white guy is responsible or to be blamed for slavery or whatever. Well, then you also got to add in the other side of that that a lot of white people from the North fought to free the slaves in the Civil War. So, like, it's
Right.
not just like. But bottom line is that if none of that happened, or if any of that didn't happen exactly as it did, none of us would be here right now. We wouldn't exist. Our
Right.
parents wouldn't have met. we wouldn't be around, you know. So,
I agree with that.
little more gratitude is always good if you ask me. It's not victim or victor. Do you want to be a victim or a victor in this life? I will never be a victim ever, no matter what. And I would encourage everybody to try to adopt that attitude. Be a victor. You know.
Right. I get that. Why? How dare you? You're supposed to listen. How dare you not blow cat the log cabins? Hey, look, there was no gays up there when I went. I know. Hey, let me not say that word. I'll just. What word can I say?
Faggots? No, I shouldn't say that.
You're really gonna get kicked off. You say
Yeah,
that.
I know, I get it.
I'll just call them a bundle of sticks. There were no bundles of sticks where I was. It's not very common out here. When I did see one, I saw two of them, and I did a cool. It was like a real reaction. People were cracking up. I saw two Decepticons, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, there are Decepticons here!" It was such a culture shock for me. It was so
Hilarious.
shocking.
Go watch that video on Instagram on Suni's page, folks. It's hilarious watching her react to it. She's trying to like wind up her window and it's like fighting her. She's like literally trying to pull it up because she wants to say it, but she doesn't want to like say it with the window down. It's so funny.
I didn't say it. I'm like, they're gonna hear me. Then I was like, man, I don't even care. Fuck it. And I was just like, yo, there's freaking Decepticons here. It was wild. I told my husband, and he was like, "You never seen Decepticons before?" And I'm like, "No, not in person, on a
Not in
TV screen
Japan.
and on social media." Yeah,
That's hilarious. So what did their voice sound like? You said you had no Adam's apple or nothing. It looked like a woman from like far away. Quick glance.
it looks like a woman. Like when I walked in, I said, "Geez, this Japanese lady's tall." I'm because you don't see really tall Japanese people out here. I'm like, "Wow, she's tall." And I went to go get my food, and I just heard it was like a baritone. Look, it was like Barry White deep
What the?
coming out of a woman's. It's a man's body, but you understand what I'm saying. It looks like a woman, and I was
That's
just like,
wild.
it actually scared me. It was like being in the presence of like a demon possession. And he just had a very unnatural voice that was attached to a woman's body, and I was just like, that's not a dude. And it was a dude. It was two of them. It was the wildest thing ever. The
Bro, that's
wildest thing ever.
crazy.
I've never experienced anything like that.
That is wild. I've said this to you before. Like, it's not because I hear this a lot more and more, where they're deceiving men. You know, that they're trans women or whatever they call themselves. They're men that are now women or pretend to be women, and they're getting better at doing that and like tricking guys. And uh, if you deceive me and I don't find out that you're a dude until I take your pants off, I'm gonna kill you. You're dead. I hope it was worth it.
Isn't that considered rape? Like, wouldn't that be considered rape since you're engaging in that type of behavior without consent? They're not consenting to doing that with you.
Yeah, fuck no. That's you had to dress up as a woman to trick me into doing some gay shit with you. Well, that's cute. I hope it was worth it because you're fucking dead.
That's crazy. Like deep, like I'm talking very white deep, man. I was like, whoa, and then I really started because I was waiting in line, and I'm just like trying not to stare, but I couldn't help it, so I was just like, forget it. And I'm like, whoa, you got big feet. And then I started to look at his hands, and I was just like, at first glance, that would have been a woman. I can only imagine what a guy saw. That would have been a woman to me, and I wouldn't if he hadn't opened his mouth, I would have never known.
Wow, that's crazy. How tall was he? She?
He was taller than me, and it's not common that you see women that tall. I'm 5'8". Oh, he had to be over 6 feet.
Oh my
Had to
God,
be
that's
over 6 feet.
crazy. That's wild. Yeah, you know what I heard about? And this girl was trying to. Australia is such a liberal, ridiculous culture that she was trying to say that like some men that get fucked by a guy or whatever aren't gay. I was like, yes, they are. That's literally the line for gay. Penetration is the line. Like you're gay. You can't. But she was saying that they go to Thailand and shit sometimes, and there's some prostitutes over there that are actually trans men, and you know they don't know that when they start, and they end up like messing around with them. It's like, oh, I didn't realize you had a dick. That's all right, just stick it in my ass. Like, no, girl, they're gay. They're going there to do that. They're probably
That's
going there
that's
because there's trans guys and it gets them off. They're weird perverts, but like they're
that's
gay.
gay. That's gay. There
It's,
is no getting around that. It's just gay.
it don't get gayer than
I
that.
think it's another way to trick men or deceive men into engaging in homosexual behavior.
Yeah,
I don't know what else it would be. That's really it. It's pretty weird. It's very weird to see this take place in modern times where you have technology and people are supposed to be getting smarter, but they're not. They're getting dumber. It's like Idiocracy. You ever saw that movie?
yeah.
Dude, that's what we're living right now.
You
When
nailed it. And
people
that
can't define
president,
it.
the president on that movie and shit, like it's getting. I would rather have him than Biden.
Oh gosh. Just to get more chicks, but pretend to be a guy. I don't know, man. It's it's a weird thing. It's very weird when I see women do it too. I'm just like, you're not. You put a fake thing on to engage in sexual activity with another woman. She doesn't like men, but she likes your fake thing. It's just the weirdest thing ever. Doesn't make any
The strap
sense.
on it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bizarre. Very bizarre. Why don't you just have a man that? Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's very bizarre.
Just go be with a man. And like, no, I don't want. I got to talk to a I've talked to trannies and lesbians in my time doing this. And I spoke to a lesbian, and she said I will never be with a man because he can't give me what I need emotionally. And I was just like, so this is something emotional for you that you feel like you're dealing with, and a man can't provide that. So and most of the time they're struggling from some sort of trauma from what I gauged from her. So even more, if you think about it, they are strengthening the argument for this being classified as a mental disorder because they're traumatized, which completely scrambles your brain patterns and how your brain works. Um, and it's flipped. And I think with the correct medical help, you can fix that. I don't think anyone has to walk around being that way unless they so choose. And if you're an adult and you choose to do that, then cool. Hey, more power to you. But what they're doing now is it's just absurd. And I'm very shocked at the amount of people who make excuses not only for this, but um, abortion, transitioning, young people, children as young as 5, sometimes younger than that, because you have sick parents that will put the cloth penis there. I'm just like, it's a kid. Like, why are you even? It's just gross, man. Bottom line
What do
is
they
it's
do?
gross and it's disgusting. There are these like knit sets for newborns that you can put in the diaper um to mimic them either having a vagina or a penis. And they put this in a newborn's diaper. No lie. So it's not even for the baby because the baby's not aware of that. It's got to be something aesthetically pleasing to the adult's eye to say, okay, this kid's a boy, even though they're not a boy. It's it's the most mind blowing thing I've seen, and it only gets worse. Every couple years, and not even every couple years, every few months, there is something else that these people do that should automatically alarm not just parents but the average citizen to just say, okay, this is not right, and we're not doing this anymore. And whoever is doing this, we're going to work to make sure that you're not in business anymore. But you just have very sick individuals that will do this to newborns. Like it's a newborn. They don't know. They're not even aware.
So isn't it supposed to be like a trans person's like decision to transition? How is a newborn
Yeah.
even consenting in that? They don't even know what the hell's going on. They're just birthed.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I
That's
was
so
like,
wild.
um, knit.
Also, while you're pulling that up, like, I don't think it's fair to be putting these kids through anything at all. Personally, that's me. It's like I say it like this. Look, I know you think you're a girl, but you were born a man. You can't be. I'll like be sympathetic to you and try to help you work through that and navigate this life. But look, I want to be a 7 foot tall basketball player that can dunk. I can't be. I wasn't born that way. You were born a
Mm-hmm.
man. You weren't born a woman. But let's say that somehow it's justifiable. You can't justify it at all prepubescent. For any kid
Mm-hmm.
pre-puberty, they shouldn't even be learning about sex at all. They're not sexualized yet, by definition. So to be doing that to them is literally child abuse, I would argue.
Here it is. This is crazy. This is crazy. Uh, where's it at? I'm glad that they're not showing the images on like you can't easily assess it on Google Images. But Stitch Studios sells knitted penises for trans babies. And I don't think I can turn my camera around, so this is what it is. Not making this up. This happened last year in May. Um, Here it is right here. This is what they're selling to children. Like it's very sick, man. Bitty Bug Soft Packer. It's Soft Packer is a custom prosthetic packer in sizes appropriate for children.
Unreal. And you said they make vaginas too for
Yes,
what the fuck is going on, people?
I got it. It's not real. Like it's knitted.
They're
And they're not out
newborns.
of business, right? They're not out of business. I understand we have freedoms in America, and this is a capital. It's not even a capitalist nation; it's a mixed economy. But we definitely have capitalist elements more than anything else. But if people can't make a living selling, child porn, how can you make a living selling knitted fake wieners to young kids?
Great
And you
question.
can put them in a diaper. Like, and it's
You're
a
set.
guy's hand. And I'm like, look, that's a male's hand. What
Of
what
course
what
it
do you
is.
do with this, man? It's just I don't get it.
You can't make
Is
this
that
shit up.
given to the child by adults, and do the adults go to jail after? No, they're allowed to they're allowed to do this.
They get Parent of the Year awards. They don't go to jail at all. The people that go to jail are people like Suni and I who are trying to protect these innocent kids from shit like that. They'll put us in jail
Yes.
somehow. They'll lock us up and stop us from having a voice out here to protest it. But they're what about like what are they called? Drag queens doing stories. I've heard drag queens, literally homosexual dudes, whatever, drags, they have ripped on the idea of parents letting their kids be exposed to a guy in drag reading them stories at the library because it's sexual in nature. Drag is
Hmm.
sexuality in nature. What on earth are we doing? Like, I would kill somebody if they did that in front of my kid. Literally kill them.
Yeah, they had a I wanted to go to it. They had a drag story time here on one of our military bases.
What?
Um, yeah, I took a picture of it and I posted it. And I wanted to wait until after Pride to just go back and have that conversation and kind of be inquisitive as to like why is this being offered to children? And if they say, well, there are trans children here, okay, but you're a library. You're supposed to just be giving books, not advertising things that are going to sway someone's mind. Like when I was a kid and I went into a library, there weren't political signs everywhere. You may have saw a dare sign, don't do drugs, which is a good thing. Um, but there were no rainbow flags. There were no trans section. There was no um, Black History Month section, they had those books, but it wasn't on display for everyone to trigger thought like, let me go read this and see what's over here. Like I took my kids, and these are my kids, so of course they know these things. They're like, "Mom, look, ew, it's the gay flag," and I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." And I was checking books out, and I said, "Hey, what does that rainbow mean?" And they said, "Well, that's God's promise to never flood the earth again." And I said, "That's right." And the librarian is kind of just like, giving me a look, but I'm like, I don't really give a fuck. I don't care.
Fuck
You're
that bitch.
advertising this to children. A rainbow to them is, ooh, it's a lot of cool colors. They're not thinking of anything, like you said, sexual in nature. This just proves that they're groomers, and they don't like being called groomers, but that's what you are.
What else is it? You shouldn't be exposing kids that are pre-puberty to anything sexual, gay, straight, or otherwise. I'd have a problem with straight people doing straight shit to kids at that age. It doesn't matter. No
That's facts.
sex is acceptable.
That's facts. Reading time. Yeah, it was wild, man. I'm not surprised because this is a very much so federal uh, grounds, and nobody should be surprised when these things are happening on federal grounds. But it did definitely kind of pull me back when I saw that. It made me super angry. Like these things make people quote unquote homophobic. Like when you do stuff like this, it makes people kind of indirectly and subconsciously hate gays. Just it's no different than people having a prejudice against blacks. Well, they have it because what's constantly depicted on a TV.
Mhm.
We're gangsters, we sell drugs, everything is ratchet coming out of the black community. So quite naturally, someone who isn't used to being around that is going to develop some sort of animus or prejudice. Because you don't
Yeah.
spend time around these people, just like it is for blacks. When you don't spend time around white people and all you hear is bad stuff about white people, it creates animus. It creates
Yeah.
a whole bunch of stuff that shouldn't be there. So this is me. I think in a few years, all of this stuff is going to hit the freaking fan, and people are going to regret what they did here today. I think there will be more people that finally say, okay, enough is enough. I'm not doing this anymore.
How far will it have progressed by then is the question.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Hopefully, it's not like over the freaking top, and they're coming in for a victory lap by that point. By the time we can rally some people to come to some decency,
Hmm.
because that's the thing. Like, decent, decent, upstanding gay people or whatever should also be offended by these kind of things because it gives their cause and their life or whatever a bad look. It's like in my
Right.
neighborhood and stuff, or my family or whatever. Like, the guys I grew up around, they were like, look, you don't fucking behave that way. You don't let our people behave that way. If you see them behaving that way, you tell me because it's a bad look. It reflects on
Hmm.
all of us. So you have to regulate that way. And the fact that there aren't more gay people distancing themselves or even like calling this shit out or whatever it is, it's not good for them. And that's why people can develop things against gay people. Not that it's necessarily right, but it's like, look, all I hear is these kind of causes being pushed, and I don't see any gay people stopping it. Like there are Jews that are
Yeah.
anti-Zionist. That's kind of what I'm thinking of here. You know what I mean? Like they're calling out certain Jews because they're like, you give us all a bad image. Gay people should do the same
Right.
thing for this kind of thing.
They do, but you know what it is? There is a group called Gays Against Groomers, and I briefly talked about it, and I'm probably going to talk about it again today. Um, but what they're doing is, and this is what I don't agree with. I agree that there should be gay people that speak up and say, "Hey, come on, this is not appropriate." 1000%. But you have people that are promoting their lifestyle as something positive, promoting this. And they'll say, hey, we don't believe in marketing this stuff to children, but they'll have someone like a Lady Maga who will take pictures with children in drag. Or you
And you
have
need to
someone like,
stop her. You need to stop her from doing that, guys, if you're not trying to promote it to children, because she is.
exactly.
But they
Or
don't.
they'll have Mario show up to city council and school district meetings, a grown man in heels, and that kid sees that. And I'm like, indirectly, whether it's subconscious or not, purposeful or an accident, you're doing the exact same thing as they are, just at a very mild level. Like you, in my opinion, they're no different. You're all still trans, you're all still gay, you all still rock the rainbow flag, regardless of what you say it means to you. I'm a Christian and I'm gay, but the rainbow signifies that I'm gay, even though the rainbow in the Bible is a promise to never flood the earth again. It doesn't make sense. There's no rational sense that can really stand behind them unless they are formally gay and speaking against it. Because there's no way you can be actively gay, speak against the left, and then be accepted on the right, but you're still doing the same things they are, just not to the extent that the left is. That's how I look at all this, man. So when people go, "Oh, this is gay conservative, bro," these motherfuckers ain't no different. Because I bet you, if I pull out a Bible scripture and I call them an abomination, they're gonna have a problem, and they do.
Yet they claim to be
So how
Christian
are
all
you
the
any
time.
different? Right? How are you any different? How is what you're doing any less harmful than what the left is doing? You're still opening things in young people's minds that should not be open. They shouldn't see a man dressed as a princess. And Lady Maga, you guys can go look this up. It's all over his YouTube. He's got a song geared towards children. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys this because I don't think many conservatives actually take the time to look at this stuff. Like, really look at it.
Bro.
This dude is a part of Gays Against Groomers.
Yet he's a groomer.
What is he's, exactly.
Can't make it up.
Oh my god, this is the most disgusting thing ever.
Yeah, the way I regulate that in my life, you come around me and mine at all fucking with their heads or at all influencing them to be anything like that, you're fucking dead. I don't have kids. I'm an uncle, so I can play that role for my brother and stuff who have to be there as dad. Like they can't necessarily
Yeah,
make such a bold stance as I am, but it's like I'm just making it clear to all y'all, don't fuck with us. We're not the ones. Go find another low hanging fruit. Take your gay shit somewhere else.
exactly, man. That's facts. That's how I feel. But you can't say that.
I'll say it all day because guess what? I don't give a shit what you do behind closed doors. That's your business. Don't bring it out to the public for me to have to fucking endure. Or especially not the kids. That's where I draw the line. Keep it behind closed doors and you can take all the dicks in the butt you want. I don't give a shit.
It's just, dang, where's this song at? He's got so many. Happy Today. Here we go. Here we go. Now, I'm not going to play it because they'll probably kick me off. But who would you think this is marketed to if you were watching this? Hold on. Who would you think this is marketed to?
Kids.
Children, right?
Yeah, it looks like
Okay.
a Disney like Cinderella or something. Sleeping Beauty. Little kids.
But it it's not because it's Lady Maga and he's fighting for conservative principles.
What are some of the lyrics?
I'll let you hear it. Hopefully TikTok is not as bad as IG. Actually,
I've heard I've heard
it
they're
won't be
better.
anywhere near IG
Why is that?
because he doesn't have any of the stuff copyrighted.
Okay.
Telling me
What
that's not geared towards children. It's geared towards children. So it doesn't matter what the gag people say. They have Ryan on their team. They have Mario on their team. They have all these very flamboyant, loud individuals who say they're against what the left does, but they do it on the right.
We need to make our own movement, Suni. We got to start brainstorming together behind the scenes and with some other like-minded people that are just like tired of all this bullshit.
Yeah. It's you know what I should have did an end of Pride Month video. I should have did that.
Mm,
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it on YouTube. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring all this stuff up and I'm gonna do this on YouTube. That'll be fun.
great idea. And you could title it something like "Pride Comes Before the Fall." Isn't Pride one of like the seven deadly sins?
It is
So it's,
100%.
it's blasphemous to be celebrating Pride Month in the first place. Um, if they claim they're a Christian at all, they can't celebrate Pride Month. You can't even like be embracing of the fact you're gay. You could own the fact you're sinful and you're that way, and try to repent and be apologetic about it. But you can't be like I'm gay and it's just me. Well, then you're not Christian by definition.
That's facts.
God wouldn't be cool with that at
Telling
all.
they no. What do they say? Demi Lovato, my Jesus loves everyone. Like what do you mean you're Jesus? I thought it was only one. Like what does that mean?
He
Why
loves
why do you guys
everybody.
take Jesus
I think he loves
as this
everybody
like
enough to tell them the truth.
right, because love is correction. When you love someone, you correct them.
Right. I love you enough to tell you you're doing some really gay shit that I can't approve of.
There you go. Accept it or don't. It doesn't really matter. But I think it's funny. The mental gymnastics people go through and the amount of conservative women who follow these bundles of sticks. It's just disgusting to me. It is so disgusting to me and it frustrates me to no end.
Well, why don't you tell us what that live's going to be about, that gay show? Do a teaser for that, and then maybe let's bounce out of here for a little while. And if you're feeling up for it in an hour, we should jump back on and see what it's like, global superstars or whatever.
Cool. Hey, look, this was what it's about. Okay. This says, thank a straight person for your existence, straight pride. And it's got a man and a woman. So I'm going to probably put this up there and do a show on that. And I'll probably have some buddies on with me. Lady Maga, aka Ryan, has just like sworn me off. He won't do any shows with me. I've reached out. I did one show with him, and I think I went too hard because he's like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I don't want to talk to you
I would
anymore.
have paid to see that, Suni. Damn it, I missed it.
It's on YouTube. Go back and watch it. It was a hell of a show.
On your YouTube.
Hmm?
Oh, I'm definitely watching that tonight as I fall asleep. That's what I
Yeah,
go to sleep to. That kind of thing. You smashing Lady Maga and alive.
yeah, man. Thanks for having me on, though. It was fun.
Oh, this is my pleasure. This is the first of many, folks. Be prepared. Suni and I are going to take over TikTok, even if I have to bring her out here against her will.
All right, y'all.
Catch us on Instagram, folks. Check her out on YouTube. Suni the Middle Child. Peace.